Okay, good evening rather, everybody. So I give this a second here to make sure everything comes up live.
Okay.
All right, this is going to be a little bit of a difficult time here because I don't have my MacBook Pro charger.
My MacBook Pro
So
charger.
I am actually using just a 2 amp wall charger with the USB-C plugged in, and I don't think it's enough to maintain this thing, and we're at 15%. So and Best Buy is closed right now. So anyway, folks, good afternoon, good evening. We're going to start by mentioning that we do have a significant, possibly historic snowfall about to happen. As you can tell, we are portable. I am here in the Buffalo, New York area. Good afternoon and evening, everybody, depending on what time zone you're in. It's about 8:05 p.m. Eastern time, and this snowstorm looks to affect us tomorrow and the coming days, but it's already actually started. But first, as we like to show off our equipment here, let's go ahead and take a look outside. This is using our Cyclone Port camera. This is courtesy of the Radar Omega app. You can view this live in the Radar Omega app, and you can see nothing is happening out there right now on the camera on top of the roof. It's a little bit crooked because we hit a power line with it in Hurricane Nicole, so it's bent, and I will go out there and fix that tomorrow. I just forgot to do it today. But you can see we do not have snow falling here. No snow falling here on the southeast side of Buffalo, but trust me, it's close. We go ahead here and take a look. This is a graphic that the National Weather Service in Buffalo has put out, and my head is actually not covering anything important there, I promise, but this is from the National Weather Service Buffalo. Basically the first wave of this snowfall event has started, and if we look there, it's got the radar as of 7:44 p.m. Eastern time. So this is relatively current, showing two highlighted areas there in red where snowfall is already occurring in heavy snowfall. In fact, let me take a moment there, and we are maintaining at 15%. And good afternoon and evening, everybody. If I do not see your comment, bear with me because, as usual, when I am portable here, we are just using one screen. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this thing over to Radar Omega, and I want to go ahead and show you what's going on right now. So before we talk about the doomsday snow totals, which aren't really so doomsday anymore, it's a weird noise. We do need to go ahead and talk about what's happening this instant. And you can see here, we are located here in the Buffalo area, and we've got a band of lake effect snow coming off Lake Erie. Now, this is nothing new, folks. Anybody out here is probably pretty used to this. This tends to happen all the time. Here we are oops, that is massive. I'm going to switch that here using Radar Omega. You can see we're right here in Buffalo. But we've got this large lake effect snow band. It's right here. Now there is a little bit of a transition here right along the lake shore where some of this here, right there, that might be actually rain. But most of this, once it comes onshore, is indeed snow. And if we go ahead and zoom in. Now this doesn't look significant, but snow on radar doesn't usually look very significant. And we do have the gate reflectivity filter on Radar Omega turned on, so we're filtering out those lower returns. But we've got some pockets of some moderate snow in areas like Dunkirk, Hamburg, Colden, not far from here. In fact, just south of where we're at. I've actually debated if whether or not we should be heading down there right now to cover it, and that's still up in the air. I don't know if we are or not. I might wait a couple of hours and then go out just to sample that. But that is our first wave. Now, don't think that oh man, this is easy. We're out of the woods here. No, wrong. We are not out of the woods. Period at all. Let me show you why. We go ahead and go to the National Weather Service Buffalo's website. Now you're going to see me cite this website a lot. I want to go ahead and show you their graphics because, folks, here's the truth. A very significant snowstorm is about to take place, and it's very important that we prepare for this because if you're not prepared, we could have long-term power outages. Roads will be impassable for quite some time. It's even going to be impossible for us to travel and document this. At some point, we're going to have to stop chasing. We won't be able to. We get 4 feet of snow, even if it's over a 36-hour period. There's no driving in that period. So we're going to discuss a game plan here in a minute. So first of all, this is a great graphic from the National Weather Service here, Buffalo, stating here, they're breaking down a bit of a timeline here now. So what's happening right now, we've got a band of light rain, snow, and a mix. This is occurring across portions of southern Erie and northern Oswego counties. With nightfall temperatures, those are going to cool. The temperatures will drop once it gets dark, which it already has. That'll be a changeover to all snow. And then, of course, tonight we're going to get those lake effect snow bands. They're going to lie across southern Erie County and Oswego County. And you can see there, it's a little bit tough to see there, but we do have some of those higher totals poking in there into western New York. And we'll look at those in higher resolution here in a minute. And then by Thursday, there's going to be another snow band off of Erie. That'll continue to lie across southern Erie County, but it won't be as strong as tonight. However, folks, what we're basically talking about here, we're looking at a timeline from now until Thursday. The peak event for the Buffalo area, which is why everybody's probably watching this, the peak event where we're going to see all the snow is Friday. They just haven't put that graphic out just yet. And excuse me, I apologize, folks, for this being such a sloppy stream, but we're just kind of dealing with what we have. Let's take our attention right now to the Twitter page here for the National Weather Service Buffalo. And the reason I'm citing these graphics are because these are the official graphics that are being released by the National Weather Service. So nobody can come back at me and say I'm fear-mongering or anything. This is truth, folks. Extreme impacts in the purple. This is the Winter Storm Severity Index. Extreme impacts likely in the Buffalo area. What does that mean? Well, it means extremely dangerous or impossible driving conditions, extensive and widespread closures and disruption to infrastructure, and life-saving actions will be needed there in Buffalo. And of course, don't forget, folks, the Watertown area is going to get some lake effect also. Let's go ahead here and take a look at, oh, good Lord. And I apologize, folks, for not having this done prior, but it's just almost impossible here when portable. So let's take a look at the timeline from Thursday night through Friday, which is why everybody's probably here. So Thursday night, I'm going to go ahead and actually remove my head for a moment. Actually, does it block anything? It doesn't block anything. Okay. Thursday night, lake effect snow bands off of both lakes will push north across Buffalo and Watertown. The band off of Lake Erie, which is the Buffalo event, that's going to intensify or get stronger, dump a lot of snow. Then on Friday, during the day on Friday, the band off of Lake Ontario, which is the Watertown event, the north event, will intensify, and a strong lake band off of Erie, so again, the Buffalo area, will remain in place over the metropolitan area. And then Friday night, the lake bands will remain across Buffalo and Watertown metro areas. So we're talking late Thursday night through Friday night is going to be our peak in the Buffalo area, even also for Watertown. The reason I'm saying this is kind of like the precursor or the pregame for this winter storm, what's happening right now, is because, yeah, we could get a foot of snow down there in areas like Dunkirk. But folks, that's nothing compared to what we could be looking at for areas like Buffalo and surrounding areas. So to put this in a timeline, Thursday night, we're expecting 12 to, folks, this is in the time frame I'm giving you. This is not total. Thursday night, this is no joke. National Weather Service Buffalo says Thursday night we will get 12 to 18 inches of snow in Buffalo. That's just Thursday night. So you could pretty much, depending on how they keep up with the plowing and stuff, it's possible that Thursday night might be our only night chasing, because I cannot drive around in this much snow. It's not possible, hell, let alone that much snow. That's 4 feet right about there. You can't drive in that. Now, obviously, we get this to fall over a 24 to 36 hour period. They're going to keep up with that to a point, but there's going to be a point where you just can't keep up, and they're just not going to do it, especially these side streets. Folks, I don't know what it's going to be like, but regardless, I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but we're going to be having some camera feeds also. So even if we're unable to chase because we basically can't drive anymore, I will be here with a better setup. I'll have my other laptop in here, and I'll hook this up to the TV and have an extra monitor or whatever, and have a real charger. and we'll be covering this, and we'll use the remote cyclone port cameras, including we may strategically park my vehicle in a different location, maybe have my friend Don here from Radar Omega maybe give me a ride back or something. We may strategically place the vehicles here so that we can have some remote feeds, and we'll cover it here. But regardless, 12 to 18 inches Thursday night. Friday, an additional 12 to 18 inches. Friday night, an additional 12 to 18 inches. Are you seeing how this is adding up to being 4 feet? No joke. Thursday night, up to 18 inches. Friday, another 18. Friday night, another 18. Folks, this is ridiculous. This is an insane lake effect snow event of just crazy proportions. I have never seen anything like this in the past, well, since 2014, where they got 7 feet of lake effect snowfall with that system in 2014. I doubt we're going to get 7 feet, folks. But what I'm saying is, since 2014, I haven't seen anything like this. You know, I got kind of torn apart earlier because I made a social media post about this. And people are like, oh, we get this up here in the mountains of Colorado all the time. And it's like, yeah, this isn't the mountains of Colorado, folks. This is Western New York. You know, this isn't the top of Mount Everest where, you know, there's 50 feet of snow falling any given day. That's not the case here, folks. There's infrastructure. There's interstates. People need to get to work. There's a power grid. You know, I go outside in our neighborhood here, and folks, everything is above ground power. If we get 4 feet of snow, you can't tell me that without a reasonable doubt, or at least a reasonable suspicion to believe this, that there's going to be some power outages, folks. 4 feet of snow, that's a lot on these trees. And there's going to be, you know, issues where there's a high power demand. Travel is not going to be possible. Emergency services probably won't be able to reach folks. This is a serious event. There's a lot of people on social media screaming and crying, oh, this is great, bring on the snow. No, folks, don't bring on the snow. There's people's lives at stake here. There's people that depend on infrastructure for income, for safety, for medical reasons, for essential reasons like food, shelter, all that. We don't want 4 feet of snow. Even snow lovers don't want 4 feet of snow. You know, give us a foot or two, you know, we'll deal with that. But 4 feet of snow over a 36-hour period, potentially, that is insane, and that's not seen very often. So take this seriously. If you have a generator, go get your gas now. If you live in this area, especially in or around Buffalo, I'm serious. There's a couple of gas stations down the road from here on the southeast side of Buffalo that don't have gas. They've bagged up their pumps already. Go get, you know, don't panic. Don't go and fill up, you know, hundreds of gallons worth of gas, but take your 5-gallon gas jug down there for your generator. Go fill it up, and fill it up now. It's 8:15 at night. I understand, you know, put your shoes on, go do it now, because that's what I did earlier, because I don't know if it's going to be there too much longer. People panic buy. Go get your food now. Have a way, you know, have your batteries, your food, your clothing, your boots, your gloves. If you're going to be driving in this stuff, obviously up until the point where you physically cannot get your car through it anymore, you know, make sure you've got good tires. If you've got bald tires, don't even bother. You know, make sure your vehicle is fit to drive, and make sure you're comfortable driving in this too, because this is going to be the real deal. And did I mention, we look here at Saturday, 8 to 12 more inches for Buffalo. That's how we're getting that 4 feet snowfall total. This is a serious event, folks, and I think we're going to go ahead here and take a peek over to Radar Omega, and I want to show you in detail. Now, this is all going to be overlaid on top of current radar. Now, there's other snow events taking place. We've had some snow in Michigan today, too, but I just really want to focus on this potential emergency situation that could develop here. So we're going to go in here and zoom in, and I'm going to show you the Winter Storm Severity Index. Now, this is an excellent model that the WPC, the Weather Prediction Center, puts out. And while I load this up here, I will take a peek at your chat comments. Oops, I have to remove the radar data. I'm sorry, folks. I have to temporarily hide our radar data. Okay, so what I'm showing you right now, we are zoomed in on the Buffalo region. Okay, so this is Western New York. Here's Buffalo. Now, this is going to be a pretty kind of a small scale event. We're not talking about 4 feet of snow across New York. No, we're talking about like the Buffalo metro area. And the reason is lake effect snow. We've got relatively warm, you know, lake waters cool air above and a little bit of instability, which is going to allow maybe for some convective snow, maybe some thunder snow, some actual thunderstorms that are producing snow. It happens. It's thunder snow. If you've never experienced it, it is one of the weirdest weather phenomena you will ever see. But it's a real thing, and that will increase snowfall totals. It's basically going to be coming off of the lake. Now, folks, I know that I don't have the visible layer on here, but the lake is here. So all these winds coming off of the lake are going to push that lake effect into the Buffalo region. Let's see here, folks. So what we're looking at right now, let's zoom in on the purple. So don't take this, as fact. It's pretty obvious that this area, including the Buffalo airport right there, is going to be just overwhelmed with winter problems here over the next couple of days. Okay, probably until at least Monday or Tuesday until they get it cleaned up. But why I'm saying that this is such a problem, or I'm saying not to take this as absolute fact, because this is just, computer model guidance and human input. This purple area, which is the extreme impact zone, may end up looking something more like this or like that. We just don't know until it happens. But right now, this is our best guess. So areas north of Hamburg to Amherst, Clarence does include the Buffalo airport, Buffalo, probably even parts of this, the tip here of Canada as well even. But folks, this purple area right here, that's where we expect the extreme category of winter severe weather impacts. And again, that means that extremely dangerous, if not impossible, driving conditions, extensive widespread closures and disruptions to infrastructure, and life-saving actions will be needed. This is the real deal, folks. This is, there's no reason to panic. It is just snow. It's not like we're talking about a Category 5 hurricane that's going to come and blow everything away. The problem is everybody's going to get buried, and we could have infrastructure problems. So we do need to be somewhat prepared. And honestly, folks, if you've got family members that rely on electricity and you live in the red or the purple zone here with the winter severity index, it might not be a bad idea, folks with medical reasons like oxygen or at-home dialysis or those oxygen concentrator machines. Folks, it honestly might not be a bad idea. I don't know what the local government is urging, but me as somebody who's been a medical professional, it really might not be a bad idea if they don't have a home generator to get them out of there. If they've got some family, like maybe they've got some family in Batavia or, maybe down here in Dunkirk, or just somewhere that's not going to be in the hardest hit area, maybe get them out of there. I'm not saying we need to evacuate everybody. That's not what I'm saying. But, people that rely 100% on power for medical necessity reasons that may not have a backup generator, might not be a bad idea to just get those family members and have them come stay for a couple of days outside of that area. And again, folks, areas in red and frankly anything here in the orange, red, and purple could have some pretty significant impacts. So let's go ahead and take a look at timing. So I want to go ahead and look at a couple of models. Let's take a look at the GFS model. Now this is probably a little bit low resolution for for being this close to the event. But first, let me get the severity index off of there. And I am losing power here, so we're going to have to kind of speed this up. But let's take a real quick look here at the GFS model before I do wrap it up. And I want to just kind of run you folks through when we're expecting the snowfall to start. So again, GFS is picking up on that snow band that we do have set up from Dunkirk all the way to Richmond. And that's happening, so that is verifying right now. But as we pull this forward, you can see tomorrow we might actually have a bit of a lull in this precipitation. It's tomorrow during the morning and early afternoon is when we're going to probably have a little bit of downtime. And then you can see here tomorrow evening and night, man, GFS is going bullish on some heavy snow bands developing over the lake here and moving into the Buffalo area, western New York. And then we can see here as we pull this through, this is a persistent snow band. If you look here just south of Buffalo, I think this is displaced a little bit farther south. I think this will end up setting up a little bit farther north. But folks, basically what I'm getting at here, this is persistent. This same band of intense snow is going to be over relatively the same area for quite a bit of time. And you can see Saturday afternoon, it's finally, we get a little bit of reinvigoration there Saturday evening, and it finally gets out of here for sure by Sunday. So again, that's just something that we need to keep an eye on, folks, with the timing and where exactly this sets up. Anybody that lives in this area knows that lake effect snow is very touchy, and it's very dependent on exactly where that band of snow is going to set up. Let's take a real quick look again outside. I wonder if we're seeing any snow. I'm not seeing any snow on our camera here, just outside. So I don't see any snow happening yet. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get some flurries, though. Again, this is the Radar Omega app. Go download it, folks. It's worth the $8.99. It's a great app. Works awesome. We're going to be using it to track this snow event. I am just scrolling through the chat. I have to do it on my phone because we don't have that extra monitor set up. But I do want to thank everybody who has done super chats over the past couple of days or couple of streams. Merchandise purchases from seethestorm.com, you know, some of our weather-themed clothing and such. Really appreciate it because you folks are funding our project here, and I don't really have anything. I was going to show you folks maybe some of what I was going to be deploying here, but I don't have anything inside. But we are going to try to get a couple of remote cameras up. Those will be in the Radar Omega app. I'm going to try to get a remote camera up or two also. But I think we're looking at a pretty substantial event. And what you're looking at right now is current radar, by the way. If I see anything here in the chat here, I'll try to answer it. But otherwise, like I said, just wanted to go live real quick. I may go live later on tonight. I may take a drive down south toward Hamburg, Concord area, maybe just go about 45 minutes to an hour just to see some snow and then backtrack here. I really don't think that we're going to have really anything major to stream until probably Friday afternoon through evening. Tomorrow's going to be a hit or miss day. If we want to go see some snow, we'll probably have to go track it down. Probably have to go a little bit farther south. Maybe the Hamburg area will be getting some snow. So I would say that it'd probably be safe to say I would expect to stream sometime tomorrow after about 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. That'll probably go for several hours, and then we will cover again on Friday and as long as possible. And like I said, if it gets to the point where we can't drive anymore, like physically drive, I'll be covering it live right here. I've got portable battery packs. I have a small, it's only like a 2500. No, it's not. It's just a small like 2500 watt generator. It's barely anything. It's super small little Honda thing. Small generator, so we can actually power a remote studio. We could use either the satellite connection or one of the cellular connections or something to get us out to the internet. So we'll be covering this most likely in the car, but up until the point it's not safe to cover it in the car anymore, we'll come here. Now keep in mind that the big blizzard in Boston, the coastal blizzard, where we got about 2 feet of snow back in January, I covered that mobile the entire time, and it worked out fine. But this is going to be a little bit more intense event. It's going to all come down how long, basically the duration of this event that we can stay mobile is entirely dependent on how well New York Department of Transportation and the local municipalities keep up with the plowing. That's literally what it's going to come down to. I have a 4-wheel drive vehicle. I have excellent tires on it. We've got about, I think, 10 inches of ground clearance. Well, not that much. I think it's 9 inches of ground clearance. So that doesn't mean you can go through 9 inches of snow, but you get my drift here. I'm from Wisconsin. I know how to drive in this. I could probably get around in a 2-wheel drive car with bald tires just as good as anybody does in their 4-wheel drive vehicle with their big mud tires on it. So I'm not worried about it. But what I'm getting at here is we'll be out there as long as we safely can. It's possible we may have to abandon our post here. The other thing we could potentially do here is go a little bit farther north and stay on the northern edge of that snow band, and then basically keep coming south and sampling into it as far as we can, and then moving north with it in order to stay out farther or longer. So I'm not 100% sure. Be sure you're following me on Twitter, Facebook. We're trying to get Facebook going again. Do me a favor, go follow the Radar Omega pages on Twitter. It's just at Radar Omega. They're on Facebook too. If you can't download the app, you can't afford the app, whatever, go follow their Twitter because they are going to be doing coverage with us here. We've got meteorologist Don on the way here. He is down somewhere in Ohio. He's got a cyclone port feed. I'm not sure why I'm not able to pull up feeds in the app. My computer is having some issues right now for whatever reason. But we're going to have several quality streams in the Radar Omega app. He may be in a dead zone. Buffalo does not get snow like this all the time. Buffalo does not get 4 feet of snow in a 36-hour period all the time. It doesn't happen. That's why this is a pretty significant event. There's a lot of folks that are playing this off, and folks, I'm telling you what, I would rather be a little bit over prepared and look stupid. Let's say we get 6 inches of snow. Okay, we can pat ourselves on the back for being prepared, versus everybody goes, oh, it's just another snowstorm, and then we're without power for a week. So let's just err on the side of caution, folks. The National Weather Service is sounding all the alarm bells. The Weather Prediction Center is sounding every alarm bell they have with that extreme scale on the winter severe or winter snow severity index, whatever it is, winter storm severity index, WSSI. The alarm bells are going off, folks. This is the time to prepare. Again, this isn't a Category 5 hurricane. It's not going to come blow everybody away. Calm down. Folks, it's kind of me being a hypocrite here because I'm telling you to prepare, but if you're afraid or worried, first of all, calm down, take a breath. It's just snow. Okay, the worst that's going to happen, you're going to get buried and you're not going to have power. You're going to be pretty upset and miserable. It's not like we're going to have, it's going to be cold, but it's not like this is an ice storm and we're going to have negative 30-degree temperatures. This isn't the end of the world, but you do need to be prepared because there's nothing wrong with being prepared. If you got a generator, gas it up. If you don't, make sure you got your food, water. Or if you got family members that are out of the area, go stay with them or something. It's going to be a nightmare with the infrastructure. If this pans out the way it's forecast, which it looks like it will, it's just going to be a nightmare in terms of infrastructure. You're not going to be able to get around. The plows are going to be overwhelmed. The road crews aren't going to be able to get out. You're going to have to shovel your car out of, 8-foot snow drifts. It's going to be miserable. It's going to suck. So that's what it comes down to. If you want, the meteorologist in me is saying, okay, folks, 4 feet of snow. It could be anywhere between 3 and 4 feet, whatever. But the person in me who grew up in Wisconsin, we've dealt with snow. I've been in lake effect snow events probably 20 times in the past 10 years, 8 years. And this one is screaming seriousness at me. So the regular person in me, the average Joe in me that's not the meteorologist speaking, is literally saying, I think it just comes down to just take it seriously. There's no reason to panic, but there is a very good reason to be prepared, and that's all I'm going to say about it. And just maybe it might be a good idea, and I'm going off on a tangent here, but a lot of snow lovers out there are just like, yeah, snow, let's get 10 feet. Folks, just be a little careful about that, because that's some people are legitimately panicking about this on the internet, and they are very worried. We don't want 10 feet of snow in the Buffalo metro. That really messes with people's lives, medical necessities, power grid necessities. People need to have infrastructure and be able to drive to get to work and make money. We don't want that. We want to see that 8-10 feet of snow up in the mountains or out in the plains where there's nothing. We don't want to see it in the metro area. So that's why we're not out here, and I'm not trying to give the I'm so excited message, because frankly, I am excited. I love snow. However, I am not excited for this event specifically, or the impacts that could come along with it. So again, our range is roughly, I would say, worst case scenario or best case scenario, we get away with 2 feet. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're looking more at a kind of a mid to upper scenario here. Probably at least 3 feet, potentially 4. National Weather Service is putting out that 48 inches of snow potential here. And let me pull that up for you real quick. Let me see if I can locate it. It's a little bit hidden. I don't know where that graphic went. It's not on their Twitter where it used to be. But as I'm looking that up, let's see here. Hold on, folks. Let me, I need to find this. We've got the official snowfall total map, but I don't, they don't have it easily accessible. Let me just try this, guys. I don't understand why I'm not able to just pull that up off of their website. let's see here. Let me see if I can just snipe the graphic here from somewhere. I really need to show you this graphic. That's not it. Gosh dang it. I'm not logged in on Twitter either. It's just a security thing here. Let me see. I think I retweeted it. Let me see if I can find it. Gosh dang it, guys. Sorry about this. This is the old snowfall total map. This is the old snowfall total map. This has been upgraded. You see, this is as of, very early this morning. They were saying 30 to 36 inches in Buffalo. That's now 36 to 48 inches, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. So these are all on the lower side. I'm going to go ahead and leave us again here. We'll probably leave with the camera on. I am going to be checking out of here, folks. Just checking on the chat. Just lost my camera feed in the car. Weird. Nope, there it is. So we just got a low connection there. So thanks for joining me, folks. I will be live, like I said. I'll have live updates out tomorrow. YouTube members, if you're a YouTube member, I'm going to be putting a little discussion in the YouTube members section here in just a little bit. Just trying to figure out what that car is doing. So thanks everybody, and I will see you all back here tomorrow. We will be chasing this potentially historic lake effect snowfall event. We may go live later tonight. It's not a guarantee. I'm going to wait and see. I think some of these areas that are easily accessible might only be getting a couple of inches so far right now, and I just don't want to spend all night out there for basically the pregame. This is kind of the pregame event, what's happening now with this wave just to our south, like in the Dunkirk area and down parts of I-90. So I think we'll probably save it for tomorrow, but I'll start checking in with some of the traffic cameras and such, and just see how things are going. And if it looks like we need to go out, we'll go out for a brief period. But otherwise, live streams will start tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, etc. Have a good night, everybody. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. And I will see you folks probably in the Discord server, which you can find at seethestorm.com. And hold on, folks. We just got a new lake effect snow warning here. Hold on, just kidding. Let me see if this is new or old. Lake effect snow warnings are in effect for this area. I want to see if that's a change. If it's not a change, I'm not too worried about it. It's not a change. Okay, so a lake effect snow warning now remains in effect until 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Heavy lake effect snow is expected for the Buffalo area. Total snow accumulations 2 to 3 feet. In the most persistent lake snows, the heaviest snowfall is expected Thursday evening through Friday night, when snowfall rates could exceed 3 inches per hour. Snowfall totals up to 4 feet will be possible if the main snowband remains stationary for longer periods of time. Winds gusting as high as 35 miles per hour may produce patchy blowing snow. Northern Erie and Genesee counties from 7 p.m. Thursday, so it's in effect. It's not in effect. It's in effect tomorrow. 7 p.m. Thursday to 1 p.m. Sunday. Travel will be difficult to impossible. Hazardous conditions will impact Friday morning commute and evening commute. The heavy snow may bring down tree limbs and cause power outages. Heavy snow will fall in relatively narrow bands. If traveling, be prepared for rapidly changing road conditions. And that is just for that greater Buffalo area in the western New York. So they're just basically updating that lake effect snow warning. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks again for your support, and I will see you all back here a little bit later.